Welcome to another episode of Música Maestra. I'm here in Berlin, in my neighborhood, with one of my favorite musicians and neighbor, Amihai Grosz.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for getting me out of the apartment in these Corona times where it's hard to be moving, and I know you like to stay fit.
I'm trying to, of course, yeah.
So you're gonna train me today, get some exercise going?
Yeah, I thought, we are in Berlin. I think as a musician, it's always important to move. And since the whole Corona started, we are moving much less. So I'm trying just to, go outside, have the right clothes and just move a little bit. And it's nice, it's conversation, we can talk and we can do stuff. And we are neighbors, it's about time.
Yes, I'm very happy. Okay, let's go. We start running or what?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Cheers,
Drink.
coffee.
Let's cheer to the fact that you're the principal violist of the best orchestra in the world. But you're much more than that, and that's what I find very interesting about you.
So nice.
How were you as a child?
Wow.
What kind of child were you? Now that you're a father of two.
Well, I'm not sure if I changed a lot. I'm still kind of a child.
I know, yeah.
You can say I was very secure with myself among the environment around me, but I think, like all of us, I had a lot of small corners, I had dark corners in my childhood that I think that the music helped me a lot. Basically, I was kind of normal, I played a lot of basketball and football. We were living, still my parents, a little bit outside Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. It's still, of course, part of Jerusalem, but it's called Jerusalem Mountain. So it was all nature for me. When we started, I was 14 years old. The school of the quartet, in that age, it's part of my DNA. It's not something I can say I learned. It's just who I am. This listening, this playing together, this repertoire, it's like the crème de la crème. I was 14 and we started to play, and after 1 year, we understood that there's something very special there, because we started to play like official concerts in Israel. And then, after a year and a half, we went to Schubert competition in Graz. We won the first place.
Why did you decide to go from being a soloist and chamber musician to suddenly being part of a big mass?
It's a very personal decision. The main issue for me was the quartet, and the quartet is still amazing. It's like one of the top quartet, and they're still playing, and we're still in contact. It was nothing among the quartet itself. They're like my brothers, yeah. And I started to feel, after 18 years, 18 in the quartet. I left when I was 17, 31 or 32, and I said to myself, it's very cool, but maybe I want to do something else in my life. But just to be honest, I won the audition, my second audition, not the first one. I went on the first one, and I was alone in the final, and there was, of course, a mutual interest, but,
Second audition, two auditions. That's very good for people to hear, because I think for young musicians who are aspiring, everybody, we all see the Berlin Philharmonic as this Olympus that you're saying, and when we hear that someone like you had to try twice, I think that's really great, because no one is born knowing, and no one has it for sure.
I was so nervous.
I bet.
And if you are not nervous, it's not your place. you should be nervous. You should let the nervosity create something else, because when you're not nervous, you don't create. What do you want to be? Like, not nervous? So the question is, physically and psychologically, what you can develop tools, and I'm not saying I'm mastering it, but you are supposed to develop tools to live with this. Thank you.
There must be the feeling that you're sitting in a rehearsal and there's a conductor. There's sometimes conductors that you adore, others that you really don't like what they're doing or what they're deciding. How do you deal with going with the decisions of another person that go against what you want and still make it work? And how do you cope with that? Because I think that's what a lot of orchestral players must be living all the time.
Very easy for me. For me, it's my duty as a principal is I'm a bridge between the conductor and the group. Not less and not more. And my job, thanks God, I think I kind of have it in my DNA, is to see and even to think how the conductor will react. And then I'm reacting like this. You have to really demolish your ego. There are like tons of times that I'm like, what? Why? How? It's too slow, you know. But then when you really catch yourself and say, okay, wait, this is not it's not my decision to decide. I'm this kind of, bridge. When the conductor is wanting to show you something, if you cannot translate it a little bit physically and just emotionally to the group in a way, then you don't do your job well.
Yes. Tell me about how it is to live here and the community of Israeli musicians and how that fits into Berlin and the history of Germany, which of course is...
I think most of my friends were here, like studying. So of course now they get jobs, so some of them left to this, but everybody was here. And I think this is so cool because this is Berlin. I mean, it has a tradition. It has really tradition of history. For the good and for the bad, of course, yeah. But it's such an open metropolitan, And I remember the first time I was here, I was like, whoa, east, west. You go to visit the east a little bit, and it's like completely. And you go West Berlin, and it's like, okay, this is something I know. It's a freaky city. I love it.